self-defense wouldn't be Lil Tim hopping out of the car protecting his guy because he getting jumped or whooped one-on-one regardless.
Right.
So, Vaughn didn't pose no threat to you with no weapon, no files, no form, so how could it possibly be for self-defense?
THF Bayzoo's situation just flipped the entire drill scene upside down. The reports hit social media like a lightning bolt, and what came next left everyone speechless. The streets are buzzing, rumors are spreading, and the rappers are now talking. Let's unpack how these reactions turned into a conversation shaking the rap world. Sudden news. The moment the news broke that THF Bayzoo had been hit and smoked, the streets of Chicago and the entire rap world were sent into shock. Social media exploded within minutes, with fans, rappers, and news outlets scrambling to confirm details.
Fool.
The breaking news spread faster than a wildfire, fueled by Instagram stories, Twitter posts, and posts on local blogs that focus on Chicago's drill scene. While official sources were still gathering information, the community's reaction was immediate, emotional, and chaotic. For many, THF Bayzoo wasn't just another rapper. He represented a voice from the streets, a rising star whose presence was increasingly felt in Chicago's drill movement. Fans immediately flooded social media platforms, sharing tributes, snippets of his music, and personal anecdotes about their encounters or experiences with Bayzoo. Memes and speculation began to circulate almost simultaneously, a mixture of mourning and confusion as rumors about the shooting's circumstances spread. Some accounts claimed the incident happened in a targeted attack, while others pointed to ongoing tensions in the area. News outlets, both local and national, were quick to cover the story, but much of the initial coverage was fragmented, leaving fans desperate for updates from credible sources. The sense of urgency and unpredictability created an atmosphere where every new post was analyzed, every comment dissected, and every detail debated.
And robbed him for $30,000.
He got hit already. He's trying to pull his own gun. Yeah. I see.
That car is still shooting and pulls off.
Going to the live, you a rat, man.
The immediate online response highlighted the influence and reach Bayzoo had achieved in a relatively short time. For younger fans, he was a symbol of the Chicago drill scene's energy and authenticity. For those following the larger rap industry, his connections with prominent figures like Lil Durk and O Block gave him a credibility that few new rappers acquire so quickly. The news didn't just affect fans, it sent ripples through the industry, with rappers, producers, and managers reacting privately and publicly, trying to process both the loss and the potential fallout. In forums, discussion boards, and comment sections, people debated the circumstances, expressed grief, and shared personal messages of solidarity, creating a digital vigil that spanned across the country. The tragedy also sparked discussions about the ongoing cycle of violence affecting the drill scene. Chicago has long been a city where rising talents face immense pressure and danger, and the loss of Bayzoo reignited debates on safety, street politics, and the responsibilities of artists representing their communities. Social media users speculated on whether this would lead to retaliation, while others reflected on the fragility of life for artists growing up in neighborhoods plagued by violence. The collective grief was palpable, not just online, but also in the streets where his music and persona had resonated the most.
Where you at? Where you at?
I'm on my way.
Where you at?
I'm on my way.
You know I love you.
How you coming?
Hey, get some woods out of here.
I'm on my way, sir.
This initial wave of shock, speculation, and mourning set the stage for the rest of the rap community to respond. It created a sense of urgency and gravity, underscoring how impactful Bayzoo's loss was, not just for his close circle, but for an entire generation of fans and peers who saw themselves reflected in his rise. The news hitting the streets wasn't just a report of an incident. It was the opening chapter in a story that would unfold through social media reactions, rapper statements, and the larger discussion about violence, music, and community. The impact of that first wave of news was immediate, raw, and unforgettable, marking a moment in Chicago's musical history that fans would not forget anytime soon. Bayzoo background THF Bayzoo, whose real name may not be widely known outside of close circles, was more than just a rising figure in Chicago's drill scene. He was a symbol of the city's raw energy, street authenticity, and the complex dynamics that shaped the lives of young artists in urban environments. Born and raised in Chicago, Bayzoo's upbringing was marked by the challenges and harsh realities common in neighborhoods where poverty, violence, and limited opportunities intersect. His experiences in these environments not only shaped his worldview, but also became a driving force behind his music, giving his lyrics a raw honesty that resonated with fans both locally and beyond. Bayzoo's musical journey began at a young age, as he gravitated toward the drill scene that had been gaining traction in Chicago throughout the late 2010s. Influenced by the pioneers of the genre, including Chief Keef, Lil Durk, and King Von, Bayzoo absorbed the storytelling style that blends personal experiences with the struggles of street life.
When I'm going to the brothers, I don't want to say it's taboo, but the first thing I'm not talking about is brothers putting down their guns. That's not the first thing I'm talking about. I'm not saying, hey, we got to stop the violence. That's not the first thing I'm talking about. I'm not judging them or condemning them. We taught, don't judge.
His tracks often reflected loyalty, survival, and ambition, themes that resonated deeply with young listeners who saw themselves mirrored in his life and lyrics. Beyond just music, Bayzoo's presence in Chicago's neighborhoods allowed him to build real credibility. He wasn't just an artist reporting on street life, he was living it. This authenticity became a key aspect of his persona and contributed to his rapid rise in the local rap scene. His connections with O-Block and other Chicago drill figures played a significant role in his visibility. Being affiliated with these groups allowed Bayzoo to collaborate with established artists, gain mentorship, and access resources that would have been otherwise out of reach. These connections also placed him in the center of Chicago's music and street culture, providing both opportunities and dangers. For many fans, his ties to Lil Durk and other well-known names added legitimacy to his career, positioning him as one of the next rising stars to watch closely. Despite the growing fame, Bayzoo maintained a close connection to his community. Fans often remarked on his willingness to engage with supporters, whether through social media interactions, local performances, or community events. His personality, a mix of confidence, loyalty, and groundedness, made him relatable to those who felt disconnected from mainstream culture. This combination of street credibility, musical talent, and relatability created a strong and dedicated fan base, which only magnified the shock when news of his shooting spread. Bayzoo's artistry also reflected the duality of life in Chicago's streets, ambition tempered by danger, creativity intertwined with survival. His tracks often balanced celebratory moments with cautionary tales, highlighting the choices young artists must navigate in environments that offer both opportunities and threats. This ability to translate lived experience into music gave him a voice that felt real and urgent, a voice that fans and peers alike respected and mourned after his untimely demise.
Which it ain't gonna happen. I'm too advanced for these and watch how these lose their life. There ain't nothing to be bragging on, but these monkeys to me, gang, like they ain't built for this. Like, I don't get caught like it, man. Shit can happen to anybody, blood. A blink of an eye, you turn your head, won't.
Understanding Bayzoo's background is critical to grasping why his loss hit so hard. He wasn't just a rapper dropping songs online. He was a representation of Chicago's drill movement, a young man striving to turn street experiences into art, and a figure whose life was emblematic of both the promise and perils of the city he called home. His story reminds fans that behind every rising star is a person shaped by environment, community, and the choices they make, and that sometimes tragedy strikes before potential can fully be realized. Shooting details. The shooting that claimed THF Bayzoo's life sent shockwaves through Chicago and the broader rap community, not just because of who he was, but because of the chilling circumstances surrounding the incident. Early reports suggest that the shooting took place in a neighborhood known for its ongoing street tensions, though specifics remain murky as law enforcement continues its investigation. Witnesses in the area described hearing multiple hits, followed by the chaos of people scattering in all directions. First responders arrived quickly, but by the time they reached the scene, Bayzoo had already sustained fatal injuries. The immediacy of the event, combined with its suddenness, left both residents and fans reeling. Social media played a critical role in how the story unfolded. Videos and photos allegedly from the scene began circulating within minutes, creating a storm of speculation, grief, and anger. Some clips showed police and emergency vehicles rushing through the area, while others captured panicked onlookers reacting to the violence. Fans and local observers debated the circumstances. Was this a targeted attack, a random act of violence, or part of a broader cycle of street retaliation? The lack of concrete details fueled theories, highlighting both the fear and fascination surrounding such incidents in Chicago's drill-heavy neighborhoods. Law enforcement sources have been cautious in releasing information, emphasizing that the investigation is ongoing. Preliminary reports indicate that authorities are reviewing surveillance footage, eyewitness accounts, and social media evidence to piece together the sequence of events. While some media outlets attempted to provide instant updates, the rapidly changing information landscape made it difficult to separate verified facts from rumors. In this environment, fans and fellow artists were left to process grief while simultaneously navigating a flood of conflicting narratives. Eyewitness accounts also point to the emotional intensity at the scene. Friends and associates reportedly rushed to Bayzoo's side immediately after the shooting, trying to provide aid even as law enforcement arrived. Some residents described the atmosphere as surreal, a mix of panic, grief, and disbelief, underscoring how deeply his presence had been felt in the community. The response from local media further amplified the tragedy, with news coverage capturing not only the event, but also its impact on the surrounding neighborhood, emphasizing how a single act of violence can ripple across a city. Understanding the shooting details is crucial not just for factual reporting, but for contextualizing the reactions that followed. The speed, location, and circumstances of Bayzoo's demise created a situation where fans, peers, and rappers had to grapple with both personal loss and the broader implications for Chicago's music and street culture. Online chaos. As news of THF Bayzoo's shooting spread, social media erupted into a frenzy, reflecting both grief and the hyperactive speculation that surrounds incidents in the drill and hip-hop communities. Platforms like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and even Facebook were flooded with posts from fans, bloggers, and local news accounts attempting to capture the immediacy of the tragedy. Within minutes, hashtags referencing Bayzoo's name began trending, and hundreds of posts poured in from people expressing shock, anger, sorrow, and, in some cases, confusion over the details. This digital eruption highlighted not just his impact as an artist, but also the ways in which modern news about young rappers circulates in real time, blurring the lines between personal mourning and public spectacle. Many fans shared videos and audio clips of Bayzoo, often showcasing his performances, interviews, and freestyle sessions. These posts were meant as tributes, but in the chaotic social media landscape, they quickly became part of a larger conversation that included rumors, speculations, and conflicting reports. Some users claimed to know details about the shooting, including the location, suspected perpetrators, or connections to other incidents, while others warned against spreading unverified information.
The area where he lost his life at, I know it wasn't his ops or nothing, so it had to be somebody that just saw them out there and that don't play that type of stuff. And the YNs, some of these people just don't care. They don't have no heart. They don't have no brain. They're not thinking. They not even, they ain't even living for real. They just floating through, man.
This mix of grief and misinformation is common in situations involving young drill artists whose lives are frequently intertwined with ongoing street conflicts. Bloggers and online influencers who focus on Chicago drill culture were particularly active during this period. They offered updates, analyses, and sometimes raw opinions, often attempting to piece together narratives from snippets of videos, eyewitness accounts, and insider sources. Some of these posts speculated on potential retaliation, connections to ongoing feuds, or the implications for other artists in Bayzoo's circle. In addition to tributes, the online chaos included debates and commentary on broader themes affecting Chicago's drill scene. Users discussed the cyclical nature of violence, the pressures faced by young artists, and the intersection of street life and music fame. Many expressed frustration over the repeated tragedies claiming the lives of young talents, highlighting systemic issues such as neighborhood violence, lack of opportunity, and insufficient protections for artists navigating these environments. The social media response also illustrated the generational divide in digital mourning. Younger fans often reacted with emojis, short clips, or trending audio, whereas older fans and insiders offered longer, reflective posts emphasizing loyalty, remembrance, and the harsh realities of the streets. Memes and quotes from Bayzoo's music circulated rapidly, sometimes as lighthearted tributes and sometimes as serious reflections on his message and impact. This mixture of content made the online environment simultaneously chaotic and cathartic, a place where grief, anger, and admiration coexisted in real time.
Red light, better boy get his head right. Wop got left up at that red light. Smoking 722 because he died up at that red light. This is a big Drake on bro.
Ultimately, the online chaos surrounding THF Bayzoo's demise highlighted the evolving role of social media in the modern rap community. Platforms became both memorial spaces and rumor hubs, amplifying emotions and narratives that would influence fans, peers, and even mainstream outlets. The flood of posts, reactions, and speculations set the stage for the next phase. Responses from fellow rappers, most notably 21Savage and others connected to Bayzoo's circle. The digital storm captured the scale of his influence, the intensity of public grief, and the immediate consequences of tragedy in a hyper-connected musical landscape. Rap reactions. The going of THF Bayzoo sent immediate ripples through the rap world, with artists, friends, and collaborators quickly sharing their grief, condolences, and reflections on social media. Among the first high-profile reactions was 21Savage, whose post reflected a mix of sorrow, respect, and caution. While 21 is known for speaking directly and authentically, his response was measured, expressing empathy for Bayzoo and his family, while acknowledging the harsh realities of life in neighborhoods affected by violence. His acknowledgement of Bayzoo's passing served as both a tribute and a warning about the dangers that accompany rising fame in the drill scene.
But I feel bad for Zoo. Now, I don't feel sad that he got killed because he told me and other people.
Other rappers and artists connected to Chicago also reacted publicly, using Instagram stories, tweets, and posts to honor Bayzoo's memory. Lil Durk, with whom Bayzoo had direct affiliations, shared messages emphasizing loyalty, grief, and the fleeting nature of life on the streets. His post reflected not only personal sorrow, but also the collective mourning of the O-Block community and the broader Chicago drill scene. The tone of these reactions varied widely. Some rappers focused on remembrance, sharing personal anecdotes about Bayzoo's work ethic, personality, and moments they had spent together in the studio or on the streets. Others used their platforms to call for peace, urging the community to prevent further retaliation and break the cycle of violence that has claimed so many young artists in the city. Even within these tributes, there was an undercurrent of caution, a recognition that public acknowledgement could have unintended consequences given the complex web of street alliances, feuds, and loyalties. Social media amplified these reactions, with fans closely analyzing every post, like, and story. Comment sections became virtual memorials, where fans offered prayers, shared memories, and debated Bayzoo's legacy. The public nature of rapper reactions, especially from figures like 21Savage, highlighted the interconnectedness of the modern hip-hop community, where personal loss is both private and shared on a global stage. Fans and fellow artists alike watched closely, dissecting tones, captions, and emojis for meaning, turning every response into a reflection of collective mourning, respect, and understanding.
He got caught lacking, them running up on you. They wanted him, man. Somebody wanted him bad. That was personal. They didn't even really shoot the other like that. And it's always like that. Soon you try to change your life. Thing is, Zeus shouldn't have been back in Chicago. Dirk locked up. A lot of people ain't in the same position they was while he was out.
He took an Uber up there.
Why you in the Uber, gang? You should have ordered them.
The reactions also underscored the vulnerability of young artists navigating fame while maintaining credibility in a dangerous environment. For many in the drill scene, loyalty and public acknowledgement are vital, yet the act of mourning someone publicly can also bring attention to ongoing rivalries or potential threats. The responses from 21Savage and others were therefore not only tributes, but carefully balanced statements that honored Bayzoo while remaining aware of the high stakes inherent in the Chicago drill landscape. Ultimately, the rap reactions to Bayzoo's fate served multiple purposes. They memorialized a young talent, highlighted the ongoing dangers of the streets, and reminded the music world of the human cost behind the headlines. These reactions created a bridge between fans, artists, and the broader community, demonstrating how grief, respect, and caution coexist in a culture where art and life are inseparably intertwined. The collective response set the stage for reflection on the bigger picture, the ongoing cycles of violence, and the potential lessons the music industry and fans might take from this tragedy. Bigger picture. The tragic demise of THF Bayzoo extends beyond the loss of a single talented artist. It serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing cycle of violence that has long haunted Chicago's streets and its drill music scene. While fans mourned and fellow rappers like 21Savage and Lil Durk paid their tributes, the incident sparked broader discussions about the environment that cultivates both extraordinary talent and extreme danger. Bayzoo's hit was not isolated. It is part of a pattern where young artists, often rising stars in the drill movement, find themselves navigating the intersection of fame, street credibility, and constant risk. This collision often proves fatal, and Bayzoo's passing underscores the precarious balance that drill artists must maintain to survive and thrive. Chicago's drill scene, known for its raw honesty, vivid storytelling, and reflection of street realities, has long been intertwined with violence. Drill artists often rap about real-life conflicts, rivalries, and loyalty to neighborhoods, which simultaneously fuels their authenticity and puts them in the crosshairs of ongoing tensions. Bayzoo was a prime example, a young rapper rising through talent, connections, and street credibility, yet his life remained dangerously tethered to the very environment that inspired his music. His departure demonstrates the high stakes of navigating fame within a landscape where rivalries, disputes, and unresolved conflicts can escalate quickly, leaving no room for mistakes or missteps.
They ain't built for this. I don't get caught lacking, man. Shit can happen to anybody, blood. Blink of an eye, you turn your head one second, man, the wrong move, you don't see them, it can happen, gang. Don't surround yourself in certain environments, you ain't gotta worry about that.
Beyond the immediate loss, Bayzoo's passing prompts reflection on the role of social media in modern rap culture. The rapid spread of news, tributes, rumors, and reactions illustrates both the power and pitfalls of digital platforms. Fans and artists alike engage in collective mourning, but these platforms also amplify tensions, spread misinformation, and can inadvertently escalate situations tied to street rivalries. The online chaos surrounding Bayzoo's passing shows how modern tragedies are no longer confined to local neighborhoods. They are broadcast to a global audience in real time, magnifying both grief and scrutiny. The digital landscape becomes an extension of the streets, where attention can be both a tribute and a risk. The reactions from other rappers further highlight the delicate balance of loyalty, respect, and caution. Artists must navigate honoring fallen peers while maintaining their safety and credibility in the public eye. The community's response reflects an unspoken code, a combination of mourning, remembrance, and measured awareness of ongoing tensions. For Bayzoo, this meant that his legacy would be shaped not only by his music, but also by the way peers and fans chose to honor him amidst uncertainty and danger. Bayzoo's passing also raises questions about the systemic issues underlying these tragedies: poverty, limited opportunities, and the normalization of violence in certain communities. While his music celebrated ambition and survival, it also reflected the harsh realities that young artists face daily. The drill scene amplifies voices that often come from marginalized neighborhoods, making Bayzoo a representation of both promise and peril. His passing challenges fans and industry stakeholders to consider how to support emerging talent while acknowledging the real-life dangers they confront. Bayzoo's life and career may have been short, but his impact is undeniable. Do you think the cycle of violence in drill music can be broken? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation.